As in the fall of the year that we had a fire at the store, and we were told that the store is going to be rebuilt, and we didn't see that happening, and we kept hearing promises it was going to be rebuilt, and it didn't happen. And finally came the realization that they're not going to rebuild the store.
After a while, a group of community citizens decided to kind of get together and look into the feasibility of opening up a new grocery store, what it would take money-wise, see if they had somebody available that would basically run it.
We had a community meeting here in the community building, and we wanted to know whether people were interested in getting a store. And most of us on the committee felt that even though we're a small town, if you lose your grocery store, which we had one before but it burnt, you start shopping elsewhere, and the first thing you know, your town slowly dies.
I think the hardest part afterwards for a lot of people was, you know, that's where our store always was. And there was a family that had owned it previously, was the father, passed down to the son, and so it was in, you know, our community for a long time in that location.
CORP basically analyzed everything and says, you know, the old one's just not economically feasible. It's too old, it's too small, it don't accommodate trucks, the cooler systems are old and outdated. There's just a lot of things going bad for it, and the economics, even though it cost a lot of money to build a new one, the economics were there and savings to build a new one.
Where the grocery store is located now was owned by another individual in town, and the city made a swap of his property for that property so we could have the store.
There was several things the city did. They gave us a loan, 2% interest loan, and at the very end, even though we thought we had enough money, we come up short.
The grocery store committee come in and asked for some money to finish off their campaign. They come in asking for $25,000, and it was mentioned that they were about $34,000 short of their goal. And when the motion was made to issue a grant of $25,000, that didn't get the approval it needed. So I made a motion to issue a grant of $35,000 to help finish off their funding, and that passed.
I can go in and get what I need for a meal. And you know, before when we had to go out of town, you bring a bunch of food home, and a lot of times it would spoil because you couldn't, you know, use it all at one time. So it's a benefit just having it here.
I think the way the community responded goes to show how important it was to have a grocery store, kind of a identity of sorts. You know, every town wants to have a post office and a grocery store and a swimming pool, I think. You know, those are kind of the things that people look for when they look at a small town. What does it have to offer?